All right, guys, welcome to my channel. This is just a quick review of a 2017 Excel column to floor shifter conversion. As you can see, I already completed the project. Today, I'm going to do the shroud replacement. This is the column shroud replacement for the new console conversion. This is the part that I order. You can see there is a part number. This one I bought it from forpartsonline.com, and I'll be completing that portion today just to finish the whole project. I will be showing just a few things that I believe are the most important. I'm not going to show anything like disassembling or doing taking things apart, because there's a lot of video out there. So a lot of people showing how to remove the console, how to take things apart. That's not the purpose of the video, but I will show you a few things that are important. And later on, I'll be also posting a diagram with showing the most important part to build your wiring harness to become successful in doing this project. I'm going to be very specific on some of the things that I know you guys need to know. This is something that you may need to understand how things work, the circuits, your connectors, everything. If you don't know how to do that, find help, get someone with the expertise. I'm not responsible for anything that I'm showing here. This is just for entertainment. But yes, this is something that I did by my own, and it's working. I already tested the console, the shifter. It's working. Everything, it is practically performing as coming from factory. So bear with me. I'll be showing you some of the tips that I think are important to complete this project. All right, here is the shifter lever that I removed. This is the original shifter. As you can see right there, I cut the pigtail that is coming from the shifter lever to use it on my new connector and the new wiring. Doing that will eliminate the future use of this column. So, this shifter. So be aware of that. I did it because finding those connectors are not easy, and I'm taking the advantage to use it as part of my wiring harness to keep everything as much as close to the factory constructions. So as you can see in the column, this right here, this guy is the pigtail that I cut, and I reuse it back again to complete the connection between the column with the wires and everything that completes the whole circuit. These other one, this is the one with the wires. I bought this pigtail on Amazon, and I use it on the area where the connector goes to the column shifter into the interlock connector. That's the one right there. So this one has 4 wires, and because that connector is part of the whole assembly to the interlock of the shifter lever, I was not able to use that portion as part of my new wire and harness. So I cut the entire connector, marking. Obviously, you got to mark all your wires, and I created a new portion with my new pigtail in that area. So this is the one that I'm talking about. The other one, which is the one with the 5 wires, practically stays as the OEM connector. It was practically just splicing the wires at the end and creating a new connection with my new wires. So basically, what I did from there was to take the new wiring harness that I offer on my diagram. You're going to see that port number for that wiring is the one that comes for those truck with the whole assembly already connected within that console. What I did was I created a new harness by disassembling the entire wire assembly that I bought, and I practically create a new one, taking the advantage that the connector was already there for the floor shifter, and that practically saves me a lot of time. So it's not rocket science. It's something very easy to do. So again, you got to pay attention to those connectors right there. This one has 4 wires. I have everything um, explained on the diagram that I'm going to post. Like I said, if you follow that and you follow the color codes and everything with both of these 2 connectors, you will be successfully creating or doing the conversion on your truck. So I'm gonna keep doing the rest of the assembly. I'm not gonna show that right here. I just want to do that short introduction to that project, and like I said, I will be putting on my diagram that will really complete the whole process. It's going to be just a summary of running with this project. I will show you later on next of my video how that um, works and how everything were put together. Okay guys, this is a diagram that I built to do the project, column shifter to floor shifter project. I'm going to talk a little bit about this. Let's start by talking about the connectors that I show you on my column shifter. So let's start with the first connector, which has 4 wires. That connector is the one for the brake shift interlock. The connector is the C2008. That's according to the circuit diagram from Ford. The first wire, which is number 1, is going to be a black wire with a blue line. The second wire is green. The third wire is white with a brown stripe or line, whatever you guys want to call it. And the last one, which is the fourth wire, is blue with an orange stripe. Following after that is the connector with the 5 wires. That's the overdrive cancel switch, which is connector C2135 in the circuit diagram. First pin or wire is a brown wire with a white stripe. Second one is a brown wire with a green stripe. The third one is gray. Following that one is a yellow wire with a violet stripe. And the last one, which is the 5th pin or wire, is a green wire with the violet stripe. So from there, which is the column shifter connectors, you have to build your wiring for this project to get connected from the column shifter all the way to your floor shifter. So, like I said at the beginning, if you buy a wiring harness assembly with that part number there, that'll be a wiring harness for a console of could be a truck lariat or an upper model that contains all the wires and connectors that goes under the shifter console. What I did was I bought that part number. I took apart the whole wiring assembly, pulling only the wires that goes to the connector of the floor shifter. And I also took the opportunity that the wiring harness was also having the connector for the bezel, like where the shifter shows on the floor shifter, so that I can have the different gears eliminated also in the console. So from there, you can see you have pin from 1 through 10. But let me tell you this wire harness on pin number 1 is open. There's no wire. So you have to get a new wire, make it the same length of the other ones, because you're going to need that pin number 1 to get connected later on to the column shifter, to the floor shifter. That's the connector which is identified as the C3245. That's the connector on the bottom of your floor shifter. So you're going to connect from these two connectors on your column. You're going to put them or create them as part of this wiring harness that you're going to pull out from that assembly. There you're going to build or create that wiring harness that will be connected down on your floor shifter. Notice that from pin number 1, you have to do 2 connections to pin number 4, pin number 7. That'll give you the only difference that, or I should say, the only thing that looks a little bit complicated is that right there, because what happens there is that we have some sort of a resistant or a resistor, should I say, from connector number 1 to connector number 4 for the part release and the part switch. That's why you need to go from pin number 1 to pin 4 and 7 at the same time. The rest of the other wires from connectors to the wiring harness, I'm not going to go over that. You guys have it there. Just follow the arrows. You can see how that connects there. It's practically very easy. All you got to do is to do a nice clean connection on all those 10 wires there, so you can have the proper signal to your final point of access, which is connector C3245. So like I said, to build your wiring harness, all you got to do is buy a wire assembly part number HL3Z 14A318J. Separate the wires with the floor shifter connector from that wire assembly, and there you have your wiring harness. Again, pin number 1 on shifter connector of that wire assembly is open, so you have to get a 16 or a 18 AWG stranded wire to complete the circuit from pin number 1 of the wire and harness to the floor shifter. The color codes on this circuit or this diagram that I have, on the first two connector, which is C2008 and C2135, are from a 2017 Ford F-150. I'm not sure how they are on 15 or 16, but as I see previously, they practically run the same from 15 to 2017. Don't take that as they go, but that's my experience. So connector 3245 is the one on the floor shifter. In my case, my shifter was bought from a 2015 6-speed shifter because I have a 6-speed transmission. So yeah, that's the floor shifter is from a 2015 truck. So find your truck, find your electrical diagrams, study them accordingly, understand exactly how they work. Study every functionality of each of the connectors on your truck to understand how this circuit behave. And then to close up this project, just two quick tips that I would like to offer is that you have two options here. First option is you can cut your two connectors at your column shifter, both connectors C2008 and C2135. You can cut them and get new connectors. There's tons of connectors in the market. You can use whatever you want. All you got to do is just buy pigtails with 4 wires and 5 wires and create your new connection. Keep in mind, you have to look on your connectors. They are numbered. There's factory identifications to follow the wiring order on those connectors. Make sure you take notes to follow the sequence. There's a lot of pigtails, like I said, a lot of options in the market. You can get pigtails with both connectors, and you can build your connection to your new wiring harness with them. Option 2, which is the one that I follow, the one that I use to finish my project, I cut the pigtail on my shifter lever. That's the one with the 5 wires. And I reuse that pigtail to keep it as the one that is already there in the shifter column. So I cut it and put it back, and the only one that I bought was the one with the 4 wires. And then I cut that one and I used the new pigtails to finish the whole circuit. That's the way I did it. So yes, it works. Everything is functioning. If you follow your circuit diagrams and you understand exactly what you're doing, this will give you good results. So here's the final product. Let me show you how the project now works. You can see when I press the brake, I can see my backup camera is working. As you see, the column shifter is accordingly to the model of my truck. You can see here the plus and minus for the different shift. Also the different driving mode. And let me show you how that works. You can see there's tow, sport, or normal drive. When you put it in drive, all the gears showed up. That's manual. And if I do upshift, downshift, you can see it work. Now I'm parking. So yeah, project is working. It was fun to do this. And now with the new shroud, the open spot for the shifter lever doesn't show up anymore. So project successful. So good luck, guys. Enjoy your project.